Hi everybody. The purpose of this video is to walk you through the process for our first wave of peer observations that we're going to conduct next week, the week of November 14th. And to help us with that, Bitmoji Bud is going to help explain the process. So let's welcome Bitmoji Bud to this video. So let's go over a few fun facts for these observations that'll give you a better idea of what they are all about. So the first thing I want to mention is that for this particular wave, you're going to be observing within your department. So for example, if you're in the math department, you're going to be observing another math teacher. And for the most part, the observations are going to be vertical, where you won't be observing somebody that teaches in the same grade level, but for the most part, it's going to be observing somebody that teaches in a different grade level. The next thing I want you to know is that we're going to do this in partners, so you're going to have a peer observation partner called your pup, and you will observe each other. Next, I will provide a look-for sheet that will guide you as to what to be observing for, and it's going to be tied to the staff development that we've had so far. So this look-for sheet will be focused on framing the learning, and we'll go over that in a little bit. And then lastly, these observations will only be for 15 minutes, and you're going to go in during the first 15 minutes of the class. So essentially, you'll be observing for the beginning of the lesson framing that we've talked about in the staff development sessions. And I also want you to record what the mastery objective is for that day as well. All right, so let's get into some of the specifics about how this is going to work. The first thing you need to do is, once you find out who your peer observation partner is, you need to arrange for the visit. So the first step is to communicate to your partner the 2 periods you can visit, so that you each know when the other person can come. And then at that point, you're going to decide when the best time to visit will be. So talk about which periods would be the best periods to come, and you're really trying to find the best day for somebody to come and observe you. So when you think about your lessons for next week, think about that period that is the one that your partner can come to, and think about the day that is really going to be the best opportunity for you to demonstrate some good beginning of the lesson framing. So this is a chance to show off a little bit and to show your best work. So the 2 of you will figure out when those periods will be. Once you have that set up, go ahead and do the observations. And next we'll talk about what those observations will actually involve. And as I mentioned earlier, they will take place during the first 15 minutes of the lesson. And the reason that occurs during the first 15 minutes is that we're going to be looking for the beginning of the lesson framing. So let's take a look at what the look-for sheet will look like that you'll be using, and just talk real briefly about the components of this sheet so that you are comfortable using this tool. So here is the look-for sheet that we'll be using for this particular wave of observations. And of course, you're going to fill in the usual information: the teacher's name, the time, the date and the period, and the subject. You'll put your name here for the observer. And then I also want you to record what the mastery objective is. So that is normally going to be written on the Promethean board. Sometimes it's on the whiteboard that's in the front or the back of the room. Sometimes you'll hear the teacher communicate it verbally, but whatever case, try to capture what that mastery objective is exactly as you see it or hear it during the lesson. And feel free to put any other class information. Sometimes I write the number of students in the classroom in this space. Anything that you think might be pertinent to the observation can go in here as well. So the way this is set up is that you are going to record what the teacher is doing and what the students are doing. And we're focusing on framing the learning. So here are some particulars that you might want to look for and talk about under what the teacher is doing. The first one is communicates the objective and the plan for the day. The second is communicates the big picture or puts a lesson in context. The third is connects the lesson to both previous and or upcoming lessons. And the last one is provides a long-term preview. Now, you may not see all four of these in the lesson. That's very possible. These are just things that you could see that are evidence of framing during those first 15 minutes. So when you see those happening, you're going to describe them as best as you can in this box here. This box is for what the students are doing, and you may or may not put anything in here. It's really for observations that really catch your attention. For example, if the framing doesn't go well, you may observe the students asking lots of questions. You may observe students who don't seem to know what they're supposed to be doing. So those are the kinds of things you put in here. Conversely, you could say, after the lesson got started, the students were calm, they knew what was going on, they knew what they were supposed to be doing, and basically trying to connect what the teacher's actions were with what the student's behavior is. And then in this final box at the bottom, this is just a free form. If you saw something else that you really liked going on in the classroom, this is the place to put that. So, some activity the teacher was doing, or the way he or she interacted with another student that you thought was great. So any positives that caught your attention can go in this additional comments box. And that's what the tool you'll be using looks like. And we'll talk about what to do with that tool next. So once you've completed the observation, you're going to do the following. So you'll make a copy of the completed form, and you'll give one to your observation partner, and you'll give one to Bud. And I don't know about you, usually when I do these observations, what I write up is pretty messy, so you may want to clean it up because you want your partner to be able to read it and get feedback from that form. And if you can, try to carve out some time for an informal conversation about your observation with your observation partner. It's just a chance to clarify the feedback, to ask questions, and just in general to reflect on what you observed. Okay, I think you guys hopefully have all the information you need and you are ready to do this. All right, so let's wrap this up. So of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask Bud. And again, we're trying to want to start these observations on Monday. You have a whole week to do this. If by chance you can't get it done this week, you can go into the following week, but that's the week of Thanksgiving, so things are often not as normal that week. So that's why if you at all can possibly get it done the week of the 14th, I think that will be your best bet. So, again, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll let Bitmoji Bud say goodbye. And both myself and Bitmoji Bud hope that you enjoy this process.
Got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like the wind in my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I wanna play back. Mama knew I was a needle in a haystack. Upper body boy, plus way back. I got a feeling it's a rap. ASAP.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling.